Seeing that he was too scared to answer, Charlie said directly to Blake, "This old guy seems pretty clever. He thinks he can get out of this by staying quiet. Blake, go ahead and break both his legs." "Yes, Mr. Charlie." Charlie looked at the panicked Marcus Dixon and said coldly, "You can thank your son for this." A moment later, following two desperate screams, Marcus's legs were completely broken. Seeing his father's state, Logan completely lost it. A warm, foul-smelling liquid soaked the front of his pants. He had wet himself out of sheer terror. Charlie smiled coldly. "Well, it looks like you really have no self-control. Everything that's happened today is because you couldn't keep it in your pants. I don't think you should be allowed to keep it anymore." After he finished speaking, he told Blake, "Make sure he can never be whole again." A flicker of shock crossed Blake's face. As a man himself, he couldn't help but flinch when he heard that command. Orville immediately yelled, "What are you spacing out for? Hurry up and do what Mr. Charlie said." Blake snapped out of it and ordered the men around him. "Hold the punk's legs apart." Logan was desperate, crying loudly, "Mr. Charlie, please forgive me. You can break my arms and legs. Please, just don't do that." Charlie smiled. "You think this is a choice between your arms and legs and that? You're wrong. This isn't an either-or question. You're not getting out of either one." A moment later, Blake lifted his foot and stomped down hard. In that instant, Logan's scream tore through the air, echoing with the weight of consequences he'd never forget. But it wasn't over yet. Following Charlie's orders, Blake then broke his arms and legs. The arrogant Logan, who cheated on others and even beat a man into the hospital, was now completely broken, in more ways than one. But no one felt sorry for him. Everything that happened to him today, he brought on himself. Now, only Arya was left untouched. By now, Arya was on the verge of a breakdown. She scrambled on her knees to the hospital bed, grabbing Darren's hand. Crying, she pleaded, "Darren, my love, I'm so sorry. I never should have betrayed you. I really do love you, but I was taken advantage of by Logan. He took pictures of me. I had no choice. I was at his mercy." Logan yelled furiously, "Arya, how dare you lie about me? It was you and your dad who came to me at the shop. You saw my family had money, and you went after me, throwing yourself at me. There's no other way we would have ever gotten together." Then, crying, he turned to Charlie and said, "Mr. Charlie, don't believe her lies. I've got the chat history. She added me on socials and told me she fell in love with me at first sight. She's the one who sent me all the messages. She sent me private photos and close-ups to seduce me. The pictures are in my photo album. You can check my phone and see for yourself." Arya's face went white. She shot back, "Logan, you promised you'd delete those photos after you looked at them." Logan gritted his teeth. "You're a real snake, trying to set me up. Good thing I didn't listen to you and saved the photos, or you would have totally screwed me over." Arya quickly turned back to Darren. "My love, I was just confused for a little while. For the sake of all our years together, please forgive me." Charlie asked Darren, "What do you think?" Darren glanced at Arya, pushed her hand away, and said flatly, "I don't know this woman." Arya completely broke down, collapsing and crying. Charlie said, "In that case, break her legs, and then mess up her face so she won't be showing up anywhere for a while." Charlie didn't feel the slightest bit of sympathy for Arya, this vicious, cheating woman. Blake immediately did as he was told. He even took a pair of medical scissors and chopped off her hair. And just like that, all 5 of them had paid a painful price. Charlie had his men drag all 5 of them up and said coldly, "Today, I've spared you 5 animals, but if any of you dare to breathe a word about what happened here, I will kill your entire family. Understand?" The 5 of them immediately nodded frantically. They were lucky just to be alive. There was no way they would dare to disobey Charlie. Seeing that the 5 of them were thoroughly intimidated, Charlie nodded in satisfaction. He turned to Arya's father, Orion, and said, "You cheated my friend, so you're going to pay the price. Tomorrow, you will sign the restaurant over to him. Then you and your daughter will get out. Do you understand?" Orion nodded furiously. "I understand! I'll be out of there by tomorrow." Charlie then turned to Logan's father, Marcus. "Your son messed around with my friend's girl and put him in the hospital. You will pay my friend $2 million in damages tomorrow, not a penny less. Do you understand?" Marcus quickly replied, "Mr. Charlie, I'll get you the money tomorrow." Only then was Charlie satisfied. He said to Orville's men, "All right, take out the trash." A group of men immediately dragged the 5 people out of the room. After they were gone, Charlie said to Blake, "Blake, you did a good job this time." Blake smiled and said quickly, "Mr. Charlie, I was just doing my job." Charlie said casually, "I'll have someone transfer $2 million to your account as a reward." Blake was ecstatic and bowed his head. "Thank you, Mr. Charlie." Although he'd made a lot of money working for Orville, he was definitely not this generous. He would never hand out $2 million just like that. Charlie sent a quick text to Isaac, asking him to transfer the money to Blake. Even though he had plenty of money in his own account, it wasn't the right time or place to be making the transfer himself. A minute later, the money appeared in Blake's account. Blake was so excited that he kept thanking Charlie. Charlie then said to Orville, "You must not look down on these $2 million. Orville said quickly, "Mr. Charlie, it's an honor to take care of things for you." Charlie nodded slightly. "I'll remember this favor, and I'll give you a chance to move up in the world." Hearing this, Orville immediately dropped to his knees in front of Charlie. For Orville, it wasn't about the money. It was about climbing to a higher level. But for a man like him, moving up was incredibly difficult. He had always tried to get in good with Isaac Craven, but Isaac never gave him the time of day because his street background was too rough and dirty. Now, with just a word from Charlie, it was very likely that Isaac would give him a hand, helping him finally make a real move up in the world. After settling the business, Charlie turned to Darren and asked, "Are you satisfied with how things turned out today?" Darren was in complete shock. He truly couldn't understand how Charlie had become so powerful. Even the undisputed kingpin of Oris Hill was kneeling before him. He was stunned for a long moment before he finally snapped out of it and said quickly, "Satisfied, I'm satisfied." Charlie said, "I got the restaurant back for you, and I also got you $2 million for your troubles. The rest is up to you now." Darren immediately replied, "Charlie, I'll do anything for you from now on to repay your kindness. Whatever you ask me to do, I'll do it. No questions asked." Charlie nodded. "You should focus on healing first. Once you're recovered, run the restaurant well. If I need you for anything, I'll let you know." Darren said, "I'll be ready whenever you need me." Charlie added, "Oh, and one more thing. You can't tell anyone about what happened today. I don't want people to know who I am. Understand?" Darren nodded quickly. "I understand. Don't worry. I'll take this secret to my grave." Charlie grunted in acknowledgement. "I'll arrange for a couple of nurses to look after you. Take care of yourself. I'm leaving now." Back home, Charlie didn't tell his wife Claire what happened. He still didn't want his wife to know too much. For her, the less she knew, the safer she'd be. The next day, while he was out grocery shopping, he got a call. He picked it up and saw it was from Warnia, the owner of the antique gallery and a daughter of the Smith family. Charlie couldn't help but wonder what Warnia wanted with him. He answered, and Warnia's voice came through. "Mr. Charlie, I'm so sorry to bother you. I know this is out of the blue." Charlie asked instinctively, "Is there something wrong with the jar I repaired?" Warnia replied quickly, "Oh no, not at all. I'm calling about something else." Charlie grunted. "Go on." Warnia said, "Well, I've had my eye on something recently, but I'm not completely sure about it. You know so much about antiques, so I was hoping you could come take a look and help me out. Charlie wasn't really interested in appraising antiques, but now that he had a few treasures of his own that seemed to hold some kind of spiritual energy, he was curious. He asked, "Can you tell me what it is?" Arya replied, "It's an ancient jade. The seller claims that if you wear it, it brings peace of mind, good luck, and protects you from harm." Charlie's mind started racing. The mystic texts he had stumbled upon mentioned things with spiritual power. A treasure like that, one that actually contained spiritual energy, would be incredibly valuable to people. He wanted to see if something like that could really exist, so he agreed. "Okay, I can go with you." Arya said, "Thank you, Mr. Charlie. I'll pick you up at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning." "Sounds good." After hanging up, Charlie thought to himself, things for interior design were one thing, but antiques that supposedly calm your nerves and bring good luck were really popular with the rich. He figured he should connect with more of these people in the future and see what opportunities came up. Early the next morning, Arya drove over to pick up Charlie right on time. After Charlie got in the car, Arya said, "Mr. Charlie, I'm heading out to buy this ancient jade today, but a few other people in Oris Hill are also interested. I'm afraid the competition is going to be fierce." Charlie nodded and said casually, "It doesn't matter how many people are there. What matters is the item itself. If it's the real deal, you shouldn't worry about the competition. I have faith in your family's influence, Miss Smith. If you really want a treasure, don't hold back." Arya smiled faintly. "Mr. Charlie, you know what they say. There's always a bigger fish. Even in a place like Oris Hill, there are some real heavy hitters hiding in the shadows. I don't know how many people are more powerful than me." Charlie feigned surprise. "Really? Isn't the Smith family the biggest family in Oris Hill?" Arya smiled. "That's just what people see on the surface. Take the new chairman of the M. Grand Group, for example. The M. Grand Group could buy and sell our entire Smith family. That person's power is on a whole other level." As she spoke, Arya sighed. "I'd love to get to know this powerful man, but it's a shame he's so mysterious. There's no way to get an introduction."
Wait, that's not the end. You've just had a free taste. Now get the full story on the Pocket FM app, link in description. Check out our next video and playlist, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.